My father has never ridden a train. Baby's first train ride.
My parents spent most of their China trip in Xinjiang to celebrate my and Isajan's wedding, and they also paid a visit to our lovely home in rural Hangzhou. And now it's time to show them Nanjing, the city that I lived in for 3 years. Spoiler alert, we're actually mostly here to visit Ba Gua Island.
Oh, the toilet flower pot is blooming. 漂亮, 漂亮.
But before we get on the train, I have to show you guys our last day in Hangzhou with my beloved cousin Shawn, who's about to leave and return to the rat race, unlike my parents who are retired and can hang out for a bit longer.
We have a convert to the corn ice cream brigade.
Whoever owns this company, you have a market in Vermont.
Even though Shawn is going to miss out on the bullet train, we still gave him a consolation prize, a trip on the metro.
We're taking this country boy on the metro. Shawn, have you ever rode a metro before?
Yeah, in New York City.
All right, so rank the metros. Hangzhou versus New York.
This is crazy. Look how clean it is, first of all. Are we in a metro station or are we in like some kind of Star Trek plane?
It does kind of have that vibe, doesn't it?
High-tech, 2055. You know what I mean?
So you like the metro station?
Where are the rats? That's what I want. Ain't no rats here.
Ain't no rats, that's right.
2055, baby. That's China right now.
The next station is my old neighborhood. I lived right outside the opening of this ratless spaceship.
Nobody smells bad. I smell bad.
So, Shawn, I want to ask you a question. So, do you like village or city?
If you're from the city, it's the city. Otherwise, it's the village. Okay, it's definitely the village. I'm a village guy.
We showed Shawn around my old neighborhood and the apartment I used to live in, and then he had one final request befing departing.
Showing my plant nerd cousin around the botanical garden. Shawn, are you enjoying your stay?
Yes, oh my god, it's so beautiful here. I miss a lot of these different plants that I used to work with when I lived in a warmer place in the States.
Check this out. The grandmas are dancing. Classic. The grandmas are playing their gourd instrument.
Oh my god. When I'm a grandma, I'm coming here. Imagine this. Beautiful bird flies through beautiful overstory with lush vegetation, bird sounds. This is what the world used to look like. Bird populations used to be massive. We used to have so many birds.
I'm glad that my nature-loving cousin enjoyed Hangzhou as much as I do. But alas, all good things must come to an end. We sent off Shawn with one last meal of hand-pulled Xinjiang noodles, and then it was just me, Isajan, and my parents.
Happy family boat ride. They're coming.
The world is beautiful. Stop complaining.
And now it is finally time for us to say goodbye to beautiful Hangzhou and get on the train to Nanjing.
He is fascinated by the swarms of people down there. This is just like a normal day at the train station. You should see it on a weekend. You should see it on a holiday.
So a lot of y'all are probably confused how someone from a developed country has never ridden a train before. The US does have trains, but there aren't a ton of them and they aren't very fast, so they tend to be outcompeted by cars and planes. My first train ride was also in China in 2016.
Exciting moment. First train ride. Father's first train ride. How do you feel about the train?
I'm excited.
All right, she's taking off. She's zooming.
Cluster after cluster.
Yep.
He loves to look out the window.
Yep. That's the best part of riding the train is looking out the window. It's gonna take us 1 hour to get to Nanjing. 306 kilometers per hour.
It just doesn't feel like it. Ask him if it feels
190 miles an hour. Are you enjoying your train experience?
I love bullet trains.
Father, give me a review of your train experience. Are you satisfied?
Very satisfying.
Excellent. When are we getting one in Virginia?
It's not coming.
Not gonna happen.
Not just Virginia, the entire United States.
Sad. Sad moment.
Maybe in California.
All right, we have gotten off the train and we are here in Nanjing, my old home. 3 years I was here for my master's degree, so I'm gonna show the parents around and of course, take them to Ba Gua Island. Can't go to Nanjing without going to Ba Gua Island.
Of course, we also checked out some classic Nanjing sites like the nightlife streets and the city wall, but Ba Gua Island was the real star of the show. It's an obscure island in the Yangtze River where my friend's aunt and Uncle Zhao live. Their hobbies of growing a patio full of flowers and collecting cool little doodads are very similar to my own parents.
I like this. She says they're definitely not as beautiful as your flowers. Is it plastic or is it real?
都是在卡设。
这个是真的吗？
这是真的，洋洋，你
哇
看，Iris，这个
It's
是真
real,
的。
she says.
这叫月尾兰。哎呀，真的，你们来了可。
The flower hobbyists have finally met in person. 她也很喜欢花，看这里也有花。
对，你妈妈说喜欢花吗？那个了，月尾兰正好开了嘛了。我今天早上一看呀，月尾兰全开了。
哇，漂亮漂亮。
它就是一天，就是花期太短。
You remember why we met, right? Because her deck reminded me of yours, and then we
Yeah.
stopped here to take a video. Wow, whoever lives here really likes plants. We're gonna stop and look at this garden. Hello. 你这个院子弄得好美啊。
等花开的时候会更美。
This lady's garden reminded me of my home back in the United States. My mother loves to have all kinds of plants and flowers on the deck.
南京云锦是世界文化遗产，它是代表着中国的一种文化。就是过去皇帝身上穿的这种龙袍衣服，都需要有这种工具来做的。
So back when they had emperors, they would all have this embroidered onto their
然后
robes.
我配了一个中国结，不是挺好的吗？是吧？
漂亮漂亮
漂亮吧？我觉得可能你妈妈会喜欢。
Then it was time to head to Uncle Zhao's house for lunch. Since Bagua Island is located in the Yangtze River, it's crisscrossed with dozens of little canals that are a great place to take a stroll.
Look at all the murals. There are dragon boat murals all over the walls. See the murals? And then here are the boats. It has scales on it like a dragon.
你好，你好，你好，你好，你好。Welcome to my house. Nice to see you. My name is Shawn.
He lived in Africa for 10 years, so he knows some English.
Please.
Come look at his knick-knack collection. Showing the knick-knack lover, Mr. Zhao's knick-knack collection. The plant lovers and knick-knack lovers are uniting today. All kinds of unique alcohol. And here's, look, this one's a bamboo. He's got a collection of all kinds of old furniture. He restored this bed. It was falling apart, he restored it. It's like an old rich people bed. Rich people like really dramatic beds. 他说你家像个博物馆 Shell collection. He has a collection of all kinds of little things. And look, this railing is made out of recycled alcohol bottles. He loves to make things out of other things. It's like a little gazebo for sitting and drinking tea.
We're enjoying the gazebo.
Very nice.
这个里面，
他们喜欢这个。
this is inside the not finish.
He's still working on it, but it's close enough.
Nice place to sit.
这些是回收的东西是吗？
对，是的，就是老的，我们说的这个老的家具，以前人家这个不要的。
So it's recycled wood, recycled glass. And speaking of recycled things, oh, the toilet flower pot is blooming. The toilet flower pot. The top's looking good. 漂亮，漂亮。
好漂亮。
You like that?
我也来。
很可爱。
哦，在这儿。
Two sisters and one brother living a 5-minute walk from each other. It's just like unimaginable in my family because my mother's 2 brothers, one of them lives a 10-hour drive away and the other one lives a 6-hour plane flight away. And my father also lives like a 7-hour drive away from his sister. And that's just like normal in the US. But here, their whole family is located in this village together and it's so cute.
中国传统的厨房，在我们南方啊，就是很少有了，没有了。
These are really rare in this part of the country now. People usually use like
对，
gas-powered ones, but they like to use the kettle stove.
就是我们家一直保留，然后用柴火来烧饭，是吧？
Lunch is underway in the cute little kitchen that is a standalone building. She's cooking some little chicken things for you because she knows y'all can't handle bones or anything.
Oh my gosh.
And this is a vegetable.
我不知道你们吃啥。
Lunchtime. They were kind of like nervous to have my parents come over because they were like, they don't know how to cook Western food. And I was like, they like Chinese food, okay? I know they don't like small bones, they don't like spicy, they don't like oily, they don't like intestines, they don't like a bunch of things. But they also do like a lot of other things. So we do not require Western food at every meal. Also, in my personal opinion, Chinese Western food is one of the worst genres of food on this earth. So, anyway.
Let's go.
Lunchtime. 很高兴我父母终于来你们这里了，这么多年了。
So I already know what a lot of y'all are going to be asking in the comments. Why would I take my parents to this random island instead of to some more famous destinations like the Avatar Mountains or the Great Wall?
The thing is, my parents don't really love traveling. They did not come to China to see any particular tourist spot. They just were very curious about my life. They want to know what my life is like here in China and what it is that is keeping me here year after year. So we spent a lot of time in Xinjiang with my husband and his family. We spent a lot of time in Hangzhou, which is the place I currently live. So why did Ba Gua Island make the cut? It's because when I was living in Nanjing for those 3 years getting my master's degree, my life really revolved around like PowerPoints and lab buildings, and I was just in this university every single day. But I still felt so drawn to rural China, so I would go on runs or go on bike rides in villages on the outskirts of the city. I was always trying to just get like little scraps of spare time to go explore random villages. And at the beginning it was pretty surface level, just running around looking at stuff. But eventually I did meet Aunt and Uncle Zhao, and then they would invite me and my friend back every couple of months. So I was consistently getting this chance to be immersed in rural China. And that really meant a lot to me because at the time, living in a village was something that was just so like impossible to achieve. And yet I kept getting this chance to get away from the rat race in the university and return to this quiet, serene little island. And it's not just about the aesthetic of a village, it's also about being warmly welcomed into the life of a local person. For example, spending Dragon Boat Festival together, or spending Chinese New Year together, or cooking food together, drinking tea together. I've just had like so many lovely memories in Aunt and Uncle Zhao's house, and I really wanted to share that with my parents. And that is why I chose to bring them there. But I am also going to take my parents to some aesthetic tourist destinations for their final 2 days. We are going to Suzhou to see the canals and see the gardens and some beautiful classic architecture, and that is going to be coming up in my next vlog, so stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to be chatting with them about their final thoughts on their China experience and how they feel about their son-in-law and all those topics that everyone has been very curious about. So if you are interested, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog.